Once upon a time in the New Stone Age, there lived a clever caveman named Tegumai Bopsalai, his curious wife Teshumai, and their spirited daughter Taffy. Tegumai and Taffy often explored together, while Teshumai kept their cozy cave home warm and welcoming. One day, Tegumai took Taffy to the Wagai River to fish for dinner, but his spear broke deep in the muddy water. With no spare spear and miles from home, Tegumai was stumped. Taffy, determined to help, wondered if they could send a message for a new spear. Just then, a stranger man from another tribe appeared across the river, lost and unable to understand their language. Taffy had a spark of inspiration. Maybe the stranger man could deliver a message to her mother? Tegumai waved in greeting, and the stranger man, though confused, stayed to see what would happen. Taffy's mind raced with a new idea. If she couldn't speak to the stranger man, maybe she could show him what they needed. This was her chance to try something no one had ever done before. And so, the adventure began. Their cave was nestled among tall rocks and shady trees, always cool in summer and warm in winter. Teshumai made it a true home, while Taffy explored every nook and cranny, loving the simple, happy life with her family. Taffy and Tegumai spent their days wandering meadows, tracking animals, and fishing by the sparkling Wagai River. The river was their special place: clear water, darting fish, and dragonflies dancing above the reeds. Every day brought new adventures and discoveries with no clocks or calendars, just the changing seasons. Spring meant blooming flowers, summer brought long days for swimming, autumn turned the leaves gold, and winter wrapped the world in snow. Their lives were woven with these moments of peace, adventure, and love. In this world, the greatest joys were found in nature and family. One sunny morning, Tegumai and Taffy set out to catch carp for dinner. They found a perfect fishing spot, and Tegumai aimed his spear at a big, glinting fish, but the spear plunged deep into the mud and snapped, leaving the precious shark-tooth tip lost forever. Tegumai was left with only a broken shaft, miles from home and with no way to catch fish. Disappointment settled in as they sat by the riverbank, hungry and unsure what to do. Taffy, seeing her father's sadness, knew she had to think of something clever. She wondered if there was a way to get help without walking all the way home. The river gurgled on, the fish swam free, and Taffy's mind began to work on a solution. Their adventure seemed over. Unless Taffy could find a way to save the day, she was determined not to give up. As Taffy pondered, a stranger man emerged from the woods across the river, lost and wary. His clothes and painted face marked him as a Tawara from a distant tribe. Taffy's eyes lit up. This was her chance. She tugged Tegumai's arm, suggesting the stranger man could help. Tegumai greeted him kindly, though they shared no words. Taffy insisted she could draw a picture to explain their need for a new spear. The stranger man, curious and hopeful, watched as Taffy searched for something to draw on. The world was about to change, thanks to a little girl's determination and a stranger's willingness to help. Taffy found a smooth piece of birch bark and a sharp shark's tooth, perfect for drawing. She scratched a picture, her daddy with a broken spear, a new spear flying toward him, and herself pointing at it. To guide the stranger man, she added a drawing of her mother in their cave and a path from the river home. Taffy proudly explained her drawing with gestures, hoping the stranger man would understand. She handed him the birch bark, pointing from the picture to her father, the broken spear, and the direction of their cave. The stranger man studied the drawing but misunderstood. He thought it was a warning of danger, not a request for help. Believing he was on a rescue mission, he nodded and set off at a run. Taffy watched him go, certain her message would save the day. Tegumai smiled at her cleverness, unaware of the confusion to come. The first picture message in history was on its way. Taffy's idea was about to change everything. But would it work as she hoped? Only time would tell. The stranger man raced through the swamp, clutching the birch bark, convinced he was warning of a terrible attack. Every drawing on the map seemed to him a sign of danger, enemy chiefs' ambushes, and a woman in peril. He arrived breathless at the cave where Teshumai and her friends sat peacefully. Bursting in, he thrust the birch bark at Teshumai, making frantic gestures and alarming noises. Teshumai and the other women examined the drawing, their faces turning from curiosity to horror. They saw not a request for a spear, but a message of betrayal and war. Fear and confusion shattered the peaceful afternoon. The misunderstanding had begun. Teshumai, heartbroken, believed the drawing showed Tegumai attacked and Taffy siding with enemies. The women wailed, convinced tragedy had struck. In their grief, They seized the stranger man, blaming him for the disaster. The head chief arrived, saw the drawing, and called the tribe to arms. The stranger man was tied up, surrounded by angry faces, and drums sounded a warning. He tried to explain, but no one understood. The tribe prepared for the worst, certain an enemy had come among them. The poor stranger man regretted ever delivering the message. All hope seemed lost, and the cave was filled with fear. The fate of the stranger man and the truth hung in the balance. Only Tegumai and Taffy could set things right. Just as the tribe was about to punish the stranger man, Tegumai and Taffy appeared, safe and unharmed. Teshumai, overjoyed, showed Tegumai the drawing, explaining her fears. Tegumai studied the birch-bark, then burst out laughing as he realized the mix-up. He explained, the picture showed his broken spear, not an attack. The enemies were just beavers. The tribe slowly understood, their anger turning to relief and embarrassment. Taffy giggled, and even the stranger man managed a weak smile. The misunderstanding melted away, replaced by laughter. Tegumai praised Taffy's clever idea, and the tribe marveled at the power of pictures. Peace returned to the cave. With the truth revealed, the tribe celebrated Taffy's invention. Tegumai declared that pictures for messages should be simple signs, not detailed drawings, to avoid confusion. Around the fire, Taffy and her daddy invented the first alphabet. Marks for sounds, not things. A circle for ah, a snake shape for sus. Soon they had a whole set of sound pictures. The head chief honored Taffy, and the tribe feasted in her name. The stranger man, now a guest of honor, learned the new signs and carried the secret home to his people. The invention of writing began with a broken spear and a little girl's cleverness. From that day, messages could travel farther than voices ever could. The world would never be the same. And it all started with Taffy's drawing. And so, that is how the first letter was written. Not with a pen, but with a shark's tooth on birch bark. Taffy's simple idea became the magic of writing, letting people share stories and help each other across distance and time. Every letter in every book began with her sound pictures by the fire. The alphabet connects us all the way back to that happy family in their cave. Even the smallest person can change the world with a clever idea and a little love. So dream of rivers, caves, and adventures. And remember Taffy, the girl who started it all. Good night, my best beloved.